Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Tuesday. I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, a man will stand trial for a Jamestown rape that he's charged in. Details coming up.
Plus, Jamestown police seized meth and heroin in a raid yesterday. But first, we get a check of our forecast with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Hey, Jay and Matt, and happy Tuesday to all of you. And it's a little bit warmer out there than it was yesterday. First Defense Doppler is quiet once again, and it's going to remain that way once again today. So get out and enjoy it. Here's the visible satellite imagery coming from Ghost East, which is the high-resolution satellite imagery. And this is the sun up coming across the northeast, and look right there. You can see that little hunk of ice that's still left on Lake Erie, and that's the reason why they have kind of delayed pulling the ice boom out, because that little ice is still in there. But you can see a little bit more clouds today, but there will be on again, off again sunshine. So for the ski conditions, a lot of places are starting to close now as we're into spring, but we still have two resorts that are open, Holiday Valley and Hollyman. So if you haven't gotten out to do that, or if you want to get one more ride in, this will be your chance to do it here before the season officially comes to a close pretty much this month. So hour by hour, temperatures will be into the upper 40s. I don't think we'll officially hit 50, but there will be a lot more clouds around than there was yesterday, but a good mix of sun and clouds. We'll talk more about this, plus warm up, big warm up coming our way. We'll talk about it with that Brotherhood Property Maintenance 7-Day later on in the show. Justin and Matt.
All right, looking forward to it. Dakota, thank you. Our top story, jury selection for a man charged with first-degree rape and first-degree criminal sexual act will begin on June 4th in Chautauqua County Court. Dennis Park of Conewango is accused of sexually assaulting a woman at knife point during an incident last July at a Marion Street laundromat. Now, previously, Park served time in the Gowanda Correctional Facility for first-degree rape. That's according to the New York State Correctional Database.
Jamestown police say that they seized more than 2 ounces of crystal methamphetamine, several bags of heroin, $1,300 in cash, and paraphernalia, that in a raid yesterday on Sprague Street. 30-year-old Timothy Blakesley is charged with first-degree criminal nuisance, while 39-year-old Richard Brown is charged with second and third degree criminal possession of a controlled substance and criminally using drug paraphernalia. Now, both are currently in Jamestown City Jail awaiting arraignment, and investigators were assisted by the New York State Police. Anyone who may have information on the illegal sales and trafficking of illegal narcotics in the Jamestown area is asked to call 483-8477. And all tips are kept confidential.
And a Warren County man charged with several counts of attempted criminal homicide will stand trial on unrelated charges starting May 9th at about 9 a.m. in Warren County Court. 23-year-old Jackson Kent Knappenberger faces several charges, including the corruption of minors in relation to an incident last June. He's also charged with 7 counts of attempted criminal homicide and other charges in connection with an arson in December. Knappenberger pled not guilty in February. No other court date has been scheduled in this case.
In Chautauqua County, Executive George Borrello announced on Monday that he submitted double the amount of required signatures, securing the petitions needed to run for New York State Senate on the Independent, Conservative, and Republican Party lines. Borrello is seeking the office in New York State Senate to fill the 57th District's vacant seat after former Senator Kathy Young resigned last month. He was elected Chautauqua County Executive in 2017 with nearly 64% of the county vote. Now, Borrello says that he'd be holding a formal kickoff announcement in the near future. And for more on Borrello's comments, please visit our website at WNYNewsNow.com. And don't forget to download the WNY News Now mobile app, as Justin has. Oh,
here it is, right here.
Ooh.
Yeah. So download that mobile app if you haven't already, because it's pretty darn cool. Look, here's the Borrello story right here.
Well, what if I told you I didn't download the app yet? Would you believe me?
Well, I don't believe you because I know you have the app. Because every time we get a breaking news notification, every phone in the newsroom dings.
That's true.
So
That is true.
I suppose that makes sense.
You caught me.
Well, happy Tuesday to everybody. Hopefully you are having a good day and enjoying a little bit of the warm-up that we're supposed to have. I'm still kind of cold. Not gonna lie, but hopefully things will be on the up and up. And I want to talk a little bit more about the Senate race, which is absolutely huge and kind of unprecedented a little bit because of the new rules passed by the legislature in Albany. We're still waiting on Governor Andrew Cuomo to call a special election. They expect him to do that sometime early this month. There's a certain date that he can do it after that. But really, it seems like right now we very much have the two main candidates who will be running in that, Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello on the Republican ticket, and then the Democrats have backed 22-year-old Austin Morgan, who lives in Freedom, New York. And Morgan will actually be visiting our studio later this afternoon, where we'll be recording a pretty in-depth interview with him, which will air tomorrow right here on WNY News Now. So certainly, lots of big issues face the 22nd district, and for the points, the stance of election coverage, we were not prepared for this because no one knew that Senator Kathy Young would be resigning to take another job. So certainly, we'll absolutely do our absolute best to cover this race as we will, and starting with interviews today. So certainly very interesting, and I think probably a lot of voters were shocked. Still, I mean, you hear the talk out there, Matt. People are still shocked that this is actually happening.
I was that day. I'm not gonna lie.
It's still in a way to me. I'm like, I can't believe that's what it is, but it is what it is. So. Hello to all of you. Want to check in with the comments. David, hello to you. And Rory is chiming that Borrello faces the primary. And he could very much face the primary, Rory. I know that we've talked about that, but we haven't heard anything from the rest of the Republican Party. So it will be very interesting to see if he does. And if there is a special election called, does it go too fast for there to be a primary? Right now it looks like Borrello's going to be the candidate. So there's still so much up in the air there.
Absolutely.
But certainly good point there, Rory, that could happen.
Yes.
Lori, hello to you. Samantha, hello. Jill. It looks like Chrissy is here. Hello. And Lori, great to see all of you. Hopefully you are having a good day. Coming up, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo. He's receiving a pay increase. Just how much? We'll tell you.
But first, fiber optic internet will be coming to Chautauqua County. Dakota.
That's interesting. 34 degrees was the high yesterday, and that is way below average. We should be in the 50s, but the good news is a warm-up is on the way. We'll talk about it next. WNY News Now continues in just a minute.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
When I'm streaming and I'm talking to my community, we have that literally split-second interaction. If somebody says hello, I say hello right back immediately, and it kind of creates that connection. Because my subscribers and my followers, we pretty much go by Re-Up's Army. All the hate and everything that goes around, that's kind of like our mission statement. It's just be positive and enjoy each other's time. It's more or less just trying to use the internet in a positive way. We all from around the world get to connect on the same level, which is, we all love video games. Mixer.com/Re-Up. I'm live every single day, 8 p.m.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
And happening now, over 143 miles of new and upgraded fiber optic lines will be coming to northern Chautauqua County communities sometime soon. The Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency and DFT Communications are working together to provide high-speed internet to more than 1,000 homes and businesses in portions of Dunkirk, Cassadaga, Arkwright, Charlotte, Chautauqua, Sheridan, Stockton, and Pomfret. Now, in February, the CCIDA approved a tax incentive that will allow the broadband company to expand their service. DFT President and COO Mark Madem said in a news release that increasing accessibility to reliable high-speed internet in rural areas will help fuel personal, professional, and economic development across the region. Furthermore, officials say that access to fiber optics is expected to bring a 3% home value increase to residents. The project was funded through the new New York Broadband Program grant, matching funds from DFT.
Well, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo will become the nation's highest paid governor. That's thanks to a pay raise approved by lawmakers as part of the new state budget on Monday. The Senate and Assembly voted to gradually increase the executive salary from current $179,000 to $250,000. That will go into effect on January 1st, 2021. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul's compensation will also go up from $151,500 to $220,000 in 2021. Now, the increases were recommended by a state pay commission late last year, but required legislative approval. The last time salaries for both the governor and lieutenant governor were increased was back in 1999. Lawmakers received their first pay increase in nearly 2 decades as well in January, when their base salary went to $110,000. Their pay will ultimately raise to $130,000 in 2021.
And the New York State Senate also passed legislation yesterday putting the state a step closer to joining 7 others with the legal age for buying cigarettes and electronic cigarettes have been raised from the ages of 18 to 21. Now, the State Assembly passed its own legislation last month, and Governor Andrew Cuomo also supports raising the age to 21 for purchasing cigarettes, and he's expected to sign the legislation. Now, the measure will prohibit cigarette sales to anyone under the age 21. Again, 7 states and hundreds of U.S. municipalities already have similar laws in place. Once that happens, the new law will take into effect in 120 days. Now, here in New York State, 21 is already the minimum age for buying cigarettes in 15 counties, including Chautauqua and New York City.
Well, if you've ever found yourself staring at an empty bag of cookies that you just devoured, you're not alone. Your brain is wired to eat that cookie in the next 10. Reed Binion explains why.
Bet you can't eat just one. We've all heard the saying and at some point accepted the challenge and failed miserably. But don't beat yourself up. According to Daria Long-Gillespie, sugar, salt, and fat bypass our normal fullness mechanisms, which is why you can eat all those delicious cookies and savory chips without really feeling stuffed. And food manufacturers spend millions trying to find the perfect sugar-salt-fat ratio to keep you wanting more. So if you want to cut those cravings, here are a few tips. Number 1, reduce the hidden sugars in your diet. Best way to do that is to read the first 5 items in the ingredients list to see if there's any added sugars or sucrose. Number 2, embrace new flavors like sour, bitter, and umami. You'll notice salty cravings will start to diminish. And number 3, maintain portion control. Instead of eating those chips right out of the bag, portion your snacks to resist overeating. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
All right, Reed. Well, thank you. I mean, interesting statistics. I don't know if it's going to stop that from happening because they're just so damn good. But
oh, he said damn. No, that's okay.
I don't know.
I'm
Matt,
kidding. You're good.
You know what Matt's breakfast was this morning? Cheese puffs.
And a sub. I have my brunch.
Hey, it's fine. I'm not beating you up. You do you, boo.
Hey,
but,
somebody. Oh, never mind.
It always happens to me too. Like when you have that, you never want to eat. Like I can't sit there with a full bag of chips or something while I'm like, say I had a sandwich and I'm having chips. If I eat the chips straight from the bag will be gone. Does this happen to you? let us know.
Kettle cooked chips, man.
Yeah, they're the best. But the tactic I found, which
What's
works
that?
really well, you put them in a bowl,
Yeah.
you wrap up the rest of the bag, and you shove that sucker to the back of the cabinet. And then you eat what's in the bowl and say no more.
But you know that bag's in the back of the cupboard.
Well, that's
So
where
what?
that's where she'll stay until next meal.
See, you hope. You just wait.
And you know what? You're right, Samantha, because it's just same thing with Oreos. Aren't those just? I mean, I wonder.
What about Girl Scout cookies? Oh, yeah.
Oh man, we need lunch. We don't eat lunch before this show. We really should. We eat lunch at 1 o'clock. What are you gonna do?
I know.
Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. I don't think he's eaten his lunch yet either. Has a look at our Brotherhood Property Maintenance 7-day forecast.
And later, the Robert H. Jackson Center will be hosting a free performance detailing real-life experiences from the World War II era. We'll have more as News Now continues.
Turn to Brotherhood Property Maintenance for all your lawn care and landscaping needs, no matter the season. Brotherhood Property Maintenance does it all, from professional plowing during the winter months to expert landscaping all summer long. Count on Brotherhood Property Maintenance for mowing, landscaping, tree work, spring and fall cleanup, plus snow removal. Serving both commercial and residential lots, check out Jamestown's fastest growing landscaping crew on Facebook or call us right now to book an appointment.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's going to have some bison in it, you know, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's going to have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
That's why I'm not allowed to open a new bag of chips at my house. If I open a whole bag of chips, I will eat a whole bag of chips. Here's a live look from the Warren Sky Vision camera, and traffic okay on the Hickory Street Bridge, and the snow is pretty much all melted away. Look at that temperature, 44, and look at the dew point at 19. That means the air is relatively dry, and when you have a very low dew point. Let's take a look at the weather headlines to start off with here. So it basically remains dry through the middle of the week. That's the good news. And temperatures will continue to warm up too, by the way. The winds pick up tomorrow. We're talking about wind gusts around 40 to 45 miles per hour at times through the afternoon. We're kind of thinking it's going to remain under the numbers to get an advisory, which is 50, but we'll see if they do issue a wind advisory for tomorrow. Colder air returns Thursday and Friday, and yeah, there's a chance for a few wet snowflakes on Thursday. But the good news is it's going to mix with rain. So it's not going to be that huge of a deal. It's not really going to accumulate. And talking about warmer temperatures, it is warmer. It's 9 degrees warmer right now at noon hour than we were yesterday in Jamestown. 17 degrees warmer in Dunkirk, 14 degrees warmer in Buffalo, 10 warmer in Olean, and 16 degrees warmer in Erie than we were at noon hour yesterday. So it's a lot warmer out there, and it will continue to get warmer. There's the News Now cam. Again, you know, there's a lot more clouds in the sky than there were yesterday, but I think we'll take it, especially when we're warmer. It's 40 at the airport right now with a south wind to 13. The dew point's at 19 again. There's that dry air showing up again. So it's dry, and the wind chill's only down to 32 degrees at freezing. Now, the next big thing is going to be the warm up, and I mentioned this yesterday. If you're sick and tired of the snow, you're going to like this. The Climate Prediction Center agrees with a 70% chance for seeing above average temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days. Maybe 60s, maybe a 70 or two. We don't have 70 pretty much in the 7-day forecast, but it's possible. Here we go. Here's what's going on. High pressure still in control, but there's two cold fronts that's going to be moving through. This is the first one, and this is the second one that's going to come through on Thursday. This behind this is going to bring the cooler air. And look at this storm system down here. This is actually going to become a nor'easter that's going to ride along the northeast, but that's going to stay away from us. Now, we actually do have very interesting, we have a fire weather watch that is currently in effect for Warren, PA. That starts today and lasts until tomorrow night. And this is actually for the potential, because the air is so dry, there is the potential for some wildfire danger down here. So again, this is actually very rare. These are not issued very often around here, but that's a fire weather watch that goes until tomorrow. So we'll actually take you through Future Scan to show you here that there's nothing across western New York, but there's that nor'easter. It's actually going to be a rainmaker across the big cities, but once you work up into Boston, New England, this could be a snow event for them, and that ultimately works up into Nova Scotia and up into Canada, but we stay dry, and this is the next rain that comes Thursday with that cold front as it moves through. So let's show you the weather where you are, town by town, zone by zone. We'll fly it to the Lake Erie shoreline first. Temperature is warmer today. This is still below average by a couple degrees, but it's going to be a lot warmer. Again, sun and clouds will mix through the day with a southwest wind. For the eastern areas, maybe 48 around Jamestown, 46 Little Valley. Sun and clouds mix, a little bit breezy through the day as well. Next 7 days of your life, there they are, brought to you by Brotherhood Property Maintenance. And 50 degrees tomorrow, wind picks up. Again, we go back down to the 30s for Thursday and Friday. Chance for a few snowflakes Thursday, but yeah, you're getting warmer. How about 62 Sunday, 65 next Monday? Oh yeah, sports is next. Don't go away.
Invest in your business or cause by letting the marketing gurus at WNY News Now and WNY Media Company grow your business.
Purchase an ad much like the one you are watching now on WNY News Now's daily show, News Now at Noon, WNYNewsNow.com, or our brand new mobile app.
And then get feedback from our marketing experts and fans alike.
And finally, watch your business grow.
As an added bonus, Community Partners messages will run not only on our scheduled programming, but on weather alerts and breaking news as well.
Plus, messages are shared on WNY Sports Now programming. Anything from a live local basketball game to the Phone Zone Sports Desk.
Become part of our family today.
And contact us right now.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
And welcome back to News Now at Noon. I'm Matt Hummel in for Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In high school baseball this afternoon at 4:30, the Freudsburg Bears will be hosting the Cassadaga Valley Cougars. Freudsburg is coming off of a 3-2 loss to the Randolph Cardinals last Friday, and meanwhile this game will start the regular season for Cassadaga. The Jamestown Jackals, meanwhile, will play tonight at 6 o'clock. They'll host the Albany Patroons. The game was supposed to be today, but it will now be tonight, and this is the second to the last home game of the regular season for Jamestown, and it's also going to be the Jackals' third game in the last 5 days. Jamestown's final home game of the regular season will be on April 14th, and should Jamestown win tonight, they'll move into 5th place for a tie with the Patroons. And in basketball, Women's March Madness locked up their Final Four tournament. Both games will be on Friday night, with the first one being at 7 o'clock between the Oregon Ducks and Baylor Bears. The other game will be a 9 o'clock matchup between Notre Dame and UConn, and the winners will advance to the championship game that's scheduled for Sunday. And sticking here, now we'll go to news. The Robert H. Jackson Center will host multiple performances of Within the Silence, a play that follows a Japanese-American girl living in Seattle until her family was forced to relocate to internment camps during World War II. Now on Thursday, April 18th, the center will offer the free shows presented by TheaterWorks USA at 9 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and noon in the Kappa Theater. Emi Yamada's family was forced to sell or give away their possessions and home following an executive order by then President Franklin Roosevelt. 75 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the president's order to relocate all Americans of Japanese descent to internment camps in the interest of national security. And in Korematsu versus United States, 1944, Justice Robert H. Jackson wrote a stinging dissent that challenged the court's conclusion that the petitioner unlawfully refused imprisonment, noting, Korematsu has been convicted of an act not commonly a crime. It consists merely of being present in the state whereof he is a citizen near the place where he was born and where all his life he has lived. A pre-registration is required, and for more, visit is it thjackson.org, Justin?
Yes.
Okay, so thjackson.org/events, and officials note that the program is made possible through donations in the Erie to Chautauqua Cattaraugus BOCES.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And we have a full story right now on our website, WNYNewsNow.com. Good work, Matt.
Thank you.
And thanks for doing sports.
Absolutely.
Our Norm Rodriguez is here. There was just a issue with his prompters, so we'll get that figured out and fixed for tomorrow. So I thank you, Norm, for producing the sports segment either way. So really cool that they're presenting this show to kids. I think it's going to mainly target, I'd imagine school-aged kids probably would go to that. Maybe the schools would set it up, but it looks like anyone from the public is certainly invited. And a little piece of history that has a direct connection to Jamestown and Robert H. Jackson, who's has had a very successful career, as a Supreme Court justice. Obviously now he's since passed away. But interesting time, World War II era, and at the same time, you think about it, the Nazis were putting the Jewish population into concentration camps. You compare that with the fact that Americans, not sentencing them to death, of course, but arresting and hauling Japanese American citizens away to these camps without any due process. So certainly very interesting and a good way to shine a light on the history that has happened. There's no changing it. But interesting part of life either way, and I'd personally like to check that out because I think that'd be a cool story to hear. So.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, Dakota, you tell me, you're not going to be able to rewrite history or any of the future of the weather. So you tell us what you see. I'll see if I got to yell at you.
Weather is the same thing. We can't change history, but we can change the future. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you can't.
I'll just move on to weather. Again, Lake Erie ice coverage. This is the reason why they haven't taken the ice boom out. There's still a hunk of ice that is basically compacted up near Buffalo, but the lake is almost all open. Besides that, once that starts to break up, they'll rip the ice boom out. We can start enjoying Lake Erie. Weather and property maintenance 7-day. The warm-up continues through tomorrow. The wind comes up tomorrow as well. And then we get another shot of cold air. Wet, very wet snowflakes may mix with a few raindrops tomorrow, but look at that. We go into the 60s for the second half of the weekend into early next week.
Gotta love it.
It's April in Western New York.
Gotta love it, Dakota.
You know what that means? Snow's coming after this 10-day.
Well, we'll see.
You know it is.
I hope it's not.
Check the app for the 365-day forecast. It'll
really?
Yeah.
That's available now? I thought that was coming between never and never.
That's
with a mix of never.
With a little sprinkle of never.
When HE double hockey sticks freezes over.
Well, no, say it on air. You can.
Hey.
Hell! There you go.
Global warming is.
Oh no! Go to black. Go to black. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Goodbye.
That's it for us. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We leave you with the Jamestown camera from the DoubleTree. I almost said HD News Now. That's not what this is. We're news continues 24. Look at Dakota.
Oh.
Hi, Dakota.
See you tomorrow. Let's go to black.
Okay, here's a better camera. We'll
See you tomorrow. Let's go to black.
Okay, here's a better camera. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's go to black. Okay, here's a better